Go ahead and say hello to YouTube, chat. I mean, you're not actually going to be in the video, but say hi if you want to. Just you know, because I don't know, because you're lonely or something. Anyways. Hello YouTube, how are we doing? Welcome. I'm recording this video live on stream, so pardon if I'm a little bit distracted. This is a Vaal Ground Slam / Ground Slam Slayer build that I very excitedly whipped together after reading the patch notes and looking at the gem information for Vaal Ground Slam. For those of you who haven't seen it, let me pull it up on your screen now. Movie magic. We'll scroll up to the Vaal Ground Slam and you'll see it can now store 4 uses, previously 3. Soul Gain Prevention is only 1 second, and attack damage is 400% of base. But that's all gravy on the this attack can be exerted as though it was not a Vaal skill piece of meat. I don't know, that's what you put gravy on. I was gonna say pie, but you don't really, I mean, if it's a meat pie, maybe you put gravy on it. Anyways, yeah, so being able to exert Vaal skills in general is a little busted. Being able to exert Vaal Ground Slam specifically is incredibly busted. And I'm just going to take you through the build real quick here and what I've done with it. You definitely could go like a champion RT version of this. I think that's going to be really strong. But I've played a lot of RT bonk builds already. I've played a lot of champions. I wanted to go in a slightly different direction. So we've gone crits, which means we've gone for staves. And we've gone Slayer, because 20% Cull and Overleech are both really, really, really quite good. And you can get Overleech through other means. The new Petrified Blood effect, though I believe that leaves you a little bit weak to dots, which I'm wary of. I'm probably not going to do that on a starter. And obviously Soul Tether, the belt, but that got nerfed a little bit as well. So I really personally like Slayer quite a bit. If we look over the tree, you'll see there's an emphasis on exertion effects. Obviously Measured Fury is insane, but we've also picked up Escalation. I was considering Natural Authority, but there's just too many points to get to make that really worthwhile. As I said, we're going crit and staves, so we've pathed up to Whirling Barrier. I've actually picked up a bit of block on the tree as well. We picked up Steelwood Stance. Initially, I was considering Glancing Blows, but after seeing how much attack block I can actually get with a Rumi's active and potentially with like a Chest Piece Craft and Elder Gloves, I kind of want to just go for regular block. There's no way we're going to be reaching cap. That's simply not going to happen, but we can get like 55 to 65% attack block and a good chunk of spell block behind that, and that's a very solid amount of avoidance in its own right, so I don't really want to dilute that with Glancing Blows. So I think we're just going to stick with regular block, even though Glancing Blows is literally only 1 point off my tree, which maybe speaks to the power of Glancing Blows in the current day and age, or maybe just my own distaste for it. Alongside that, we've also gone for a bunch of Impale scaling, which may seem a little weird on a slower attacking slam, but is just relatively minimal investment to make work. Only 2 wheels in the passive tree that are both pretty efficient damage-wise already, as well as 1 fairly efficient damage link. So it's really not much opportunity cost to do Impale, and it does help out our single target quite a bit. And defensively, we've got some Fortify effect scaling down below the Duelist starting area. We've got the generic damage reduction, because I'm a Slayer. We've got Overleech, because I'm a Slayer, along with some Leech scaling from Hematophagy. We've got things like Endurance Charge Gen, both through Enduring Cry and Endurance Charge on melee stun while leap slamming, so Endurance Charges should be up very consistently while clearing, and if I remember to press this button, fairly consistently while bossing as well. As I mentioned earlier, we've got some block scaling. We're going to be running Flesh and Stone, even post-nerf. This is still very worthwhile. We're going to get blind as well as block while clearing. And I'm trying to think, is there another defensive layer? A decent chunk of armor, probably enough to run Molten Shell, and probably not Vaal Molten Shell, though, as we don't want to sap souls away from the Vaal Ground Slam. And then Stun. Stun's a decent defensive layer. Vaal Ground Slam literally just says stuns enemies. It doesn't have, like, enemies have reduced stun threshold, or you're twice as likely to stun enemies. No, stuns enemies. That's pretty good. And thanks for the follow, whoever that was. So, yeah. Damage-wise, we've got more than enough. You can look at our full DPS value down here, 1.7 million. That's pretty darn good for a 5-link starter setup. We're looking at a 550, 560 PDPS staff with attack speed and crit, though you can also look at it with a Hegemonies. We'd want to turn on power charges, because that would give us power charge gen pretty reliably. Looking at 1.6 million there, pretty good measuring point. And then a slightly better multi-modded staff that we might eventually aim to make pushes us up to, if I can go to the config and turn these off, pushes up to like 1.8 million DPS. And this is all still on a 5-link. The reason I've been planning around a 5-link is because I'm not sure if I want to use melee fizz damage or the new blood tap support. Sorry, life tap support. Life tap is probably going to be in our early links, as that will solve mana problems early on, but eventually I think it'll be correct to swap back to melee fizz, or even woke melee fizz by that point, and get minus mana jewelry in order to solve mana problems that way. Anyways, that was a pretty long ramble. It was all in one take, which I'm fairly proud of myself for, but I think that about covers it. Yeah. Ground Slam's going to be fun. Vaal Ground Slam is going to be amazing. There is one thing I still want to show you. Let's just have fun with numbers here. Warcry calculation mode, max hits. This is assuming all of our seismic charges are up, intimidating cry is up, everything possible is thrown together. And I don't care about the damage number here, though that does go up quite a bit. I want to look at this. That's a single slam. That is one hit covering your next map, basically. Like, that is absolutely absurd, and this is why they didn't let you exert Vaal Ground Slam before. But they're letting us do it now, and no one tell them to stop. I'm going to really enjoy this build, I'm sure. I'll be doing it as my starter, like, with 90% certainty. And if you enjoyed it, there is a link in the description down below for the path of building. You can check it out, fiddle with it, maybe start it yourself if you want to. And yeah, I hope you have a great time in Ultimatum League. Thanks for watching.